Ladies, you'll end up shopping for your guy's deodorant, right? So try Degree's Original Cool Rush. You see, last year, Degree changed the formula, and men were mad. One guy even started a petition. So Degree admitted they messed up and brought the Original Cool Rush scent back. It's clean, crisp, and actually smells like someone you want to cuddle. And it's in Walmart, Target, and other stores now for under $4. So toss one in your cart and find out why it's the best-selling men's antiperspirant for the last decade. Degree Cool Rush is back, and it smells like victory.
The Other Side of Midnight.
77 WABC.
Local Spotlight.
Good morrow, everyone, and Happy New Year. Welcome to our first show in 2025. I hope you all had a wonderful New Year's celebration, whether you spent it at a party, curled up on the couch, or braving the madness of Times Square. And let me tell you, I cannot for the life of me understand why anyone would willingly choose to ring in the new year shoulder to shoulder with a million strangers in the pouring rain. But clearly there are plenty of people who disagree with me, at least a million of them. Now, while the spectacle of the ball drop gets all the attention, what really amazes me about New Year's Eve in New York City happens after the clock strikes midnight. No, I'm not talking about the confetti showers or the performances by the Jonas Brothers or any of the other artists that performed. I'm talking about the unsung heroes of this annual extravaganza, the men and women of New York City's Department of Sanitation, affectionately known as New York's Strongest. Picture this. By 12:15 in the morning, the celebrations are wrapping up, and Times Square looks like a bomb of confetti, party hats, and soggy trash went off. It's a mess of epic proportions, but somehow, through the sheer grit and precision of 300 sanitation workers armed with brooms, backpack blowers, and collection trucks, they managed to clear away over 50 tons of debris before the sun even rises. Think about that for a second. 50 tons. That's the equivalent of roughly 25 elephants worth of trash gone, like it never happened. By the time most of us are sipping our first coffee of the year, Times Square is back to its usual chaos, looking like the whole event was just a figment of our imagination. It's nothing short of an organizational marvel and a testament to the hard work and pride these sanitation workers take in keeping our city clean. They don't get the glamour or the recognition of the performers or the partygoers, but without them, New Year's Eve wouldn't be the iconic event it is. Instead of a global celebration, it would be a global embarrassment. I was happy that right before midnight, Ryan Seacrest did interview Jason Levy from the Department of Sanitation, who I actually know and actually used to work with. I couldn't believe it. I was watching Ryan Seacrest right before midnight. I see him interviewing my friend Jason. It was wild. So let's raise a glass, not just to the new year, but to the Department of Sanitation. They are the unsung heroes who make sure New York City looks good even after its wildest parties. And if you happen to see one of New York's strongest out there, take a moment to say thank you. They've earned it. Here's to them, and here's to a cleaner, brighter, and stronger 2025.
Beam me up!
To be continued.
Your snacking routine can get a little dull. Time for an Oikos remix. Like a crunchy storm of sea salt praline pretzels, dark chocolate, and butter toffee, showering down into a smooth, creamy yogurt. Enjoy 3 Oikos Remix varieties with epic mix-ins and 11 grams of complete protein per 4.5-ounce serving. See RemixYogurt.com.
The Other Side of Midnight.
77 WABC.
Local Spotlight.
Good morrow, everyone. This is The Other Side of Midnight on 77 WABC. I'm Frank Morano. There are certain traditions that make you pause and think, why would anyone want to do that? Yesterday, thousands of people across Coney Island, Atlantic City, and beyond participated in one such tradition, the Polar Bear roughly 4,000 brave souls threw themselves into the icy Atlantic Ocean, where the water temperature was a brisk 39 degrees. Now, let me start by giving credit where credit is due. Anyone willing to strip down and jump into freezing water on January 1st deserves applause, or maybe just a thermal blanket. These plunges, hosted by groups like the Coney Island Polar Bear Club, have been around for over a century. They're not just about freezing your toes off for fun either. They raise money for great causes like the Coney Island YMCA, the New York Aquarium, and the Alliance for Coney Island. And people seem to love it. Take Valerie Greco from Staten Island, who said, "I'm a little bit crazy, but that's okay. I'm living. We're living. This is life." Or Carlos Planas, who said jumping in the icy water makes him feel 10 years old again. I have to admit, I've never done the plunge myself. Honestly, I've never seen the appeal. It sounds, well, miserable, like a very cold, very wet way to start your year. But I did say last year, maybe foolishly, that I would give it a shot in 2024, possibly on Super Bowl Sunday. As you might have guessed, I didn't end up doing it. So here I am, still on the sidelines, wondering if I'll ever take the plunge. I guess I'll need to try it before I knock it. After all, everyone who participates seems to talk about the same thing: the rush of adrenaline, the sense of renewal, and the joy of starting fresh. It's like a reset button for your body and soul. And hey, let's not forget the New York Post's annual tradition of covering this event. Somehow, I just read the article in the Post on this, somehow they always manage to highlight the most photogenic participants in bikinis, reminding us that even freezing water can't dampen a good photo op. So, to all of you who took the plunge yesterday, whether it was your first time or your 15th, kudos to you. You've inspired me. Maybe next year I'll finally join you. Or maybe I'll just watch from the shore, sipping a hot chocolate wrapped in a very large coat. Well, whatever suits you on New Year's Day, Happy New Year, and I give a lot of credit to all the polar bears who take this plunge. To paraphrase John Stuart Mill, it gives a great deal of evidence as to what 4,000 New Yorkers can do with their time, but no evidence as to what 4,000 New Yorkers should do with their time.
Beam me up!
To be continued.
ChatGPT Plus is free for college students through May. Here's the thing. You've got a lot to do between now and then. Studying for finals, writing papers, trying to keep your life on track. And ChatGPT can help with all of it. It can quiz you for your econ exam, make a study guide from your French notes, plan out your meals and study breaks. It can get really specific on how you like to learn. It can even help you come up with ways to stop procrastinating. So from now until summer break, take advantage of all the ways ChatGPT can make your life easier. Restrictions apply.
The Other Side of Midnight.
77 WABC.
Local Spotlight.
2025 is here, and you know what that means. Congestion pricing is not far behind. Congestion pricing is on its way, and like it or not, we're all going to feel it. But let's focus on something else that's rolling out, the MTA's new fare discounts. On the surface, it sounds great. With the Omni system, weekly fare caps mean you get unlimited subway and bus rides after 12 trips in 7 days. For many riders, that's a win. But there's a big catch here. If you're an express bus rider, you're out of luck. No discounts, no caps, just the same hefty fare every time you board. Where's the fairness? Let's break this down. Regular bus and subway riders pay $2.90 per ride, and once they hit $34 in a week, their trips are free for the rest of the week. That's the equivalent of 12 rides. Reduced fare customers only have to hit $17. It's a system that encourages frequent use and rewards regular riders. But express bus riders, which I am, they pay $6.75 a pop. And those fares don't count towards the weekly cap. Not one dime. You could spend $67.50 a week on express buses or more if you're commuting daily and still get no break. Why the disparity? Is the MTA sending a message that express bus riders are somehow less deserving of a discount? Chances are, by the way, most of these are people like me who live in areas where that's our only way of getting into Manhattan efficiently, and that's why we're driving in the first place and being hit with this congestion pricing fee. These aren't luxury commuters. Many of them are hardworking people who don't have easy subway access. They rely on express buses because they're often the only reasonable way to get to and from work. And let's not forget, express buses are part of the MTA system too. The MTA loves to tout its efforts to make transit more equitable, but how equitable is it to leave express bus riders out in the cold, especially when they're already paying more per ride than anyone else? These riders are not only paying a premium for the convenience of a direct route, but now they're also subsidizing the fare caps for everyone else. And all this comes as congestion pricing is set to hit drivers, funneling even more people into mass transit. That's more revenue for the MTA, but express bus riders are being treated like second-class citizens. If we're talking fairness, the MTA needs to revisit this policy. Maybe it's time to offer express bus riders their own weekly cap, or at least include those fares in the existing system. After all, these are paying customers who deserve the same breaks as everyone else. So until that changes, express bus riders, it seems the MTA's message is loud and clear. Go pound salt.
Beam me up.
To be continued.
Mic check. 1, 2. Are we recording? Hi, I'm Michelle Bernstein, an award-winning chef, restaurateur, and mom. I have a lot on my plate, including my psoriatic arthritis symptoms. That's why I was prescribed Cosentyx. It helps me move better.
Cosentyx secukinumab is prescribed for people 2 years of age and older with active psoriatic arthritis. Don't use if you're allergic to Cosentyx. Before starting, get checked for tuberculosis. An increased risk of infections and lowered ability to fight them may occur, like tuberculosis or other serious bacterial, fungal, or viral infections. Some are fatal. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms like fevers, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, had a vaccine or plan to, or if inflammatory bowel disease symptoms develop or worsen. Serious allergic reactions and severe eczema-like skin reactions may occur. Learn more at 1-844-COSENTYX or Cosentyx.com.
Ask your rheumatologist about Cosentyx.
The Other Side of Midnight.
77 WABC.
Local Spotlight.
When you walk the streets of New York City today, it's impossible to miss the growing crisis of homelessness. Now, the federal government's latest report confirms what many of us see every day. Homelessness in the U.S. has hit its highest level ever recorded. And here in New York, we've seen the largest increase of any state, a staggering 53% jump from 2023 to 2024. This isn't just a statistic. It's a visible, painful reality that affects over 158,000 people in our state alone. Second only to California, New York is not doing well. Many of these individuals are families, children, and seniors sleeping in shelters, subway stations, or worse, on our streets. So how did we get here? The Department of Housing and Urban Development's report lays out some of the factors: skyrocketing rents, a national affordability housing crisis, and systemic issues that stretch homelessness services beyond their breaking point. In New York, the influx of migrants and asylum seekers has added pressure to an already overwhelmed system. Family homelessness has more than doubled in areas heavily affected by migration. But let's be clear. This problem isn't new, and it isn't simple. Homelessness is a multifaceted issue with economic, mental health, and substance abuse dimensions. Treating it like a single-issue crisis is like putting a Band-Aid on a broken leg. We need a comprehensive approach. Some cities, like Dallas, have managed to make progress. Their $30 million Street to Home initiative reduced homelessness by 16% in just 2 years by connecting people with permanent housing. Why can't New York do something like that? Why can't we look at what works elsewhere and scale it up for our city? We also need to think bigger. It's not enough to build shelters. We need affordable housing, mental health services, addiction treatment programs, and job training. These are investment expenses that ultimately pay off by getting people off the street and back on their feet. The only bright spot in the HUD report was a decrease in homelessness among veterans, thanks to a targeted program, and actually several targeted programs, and various other resources. That's proof that when we focus and commit, we can make a difference. So why not apply that same level of focus to the rest of the homeless population? This isn't a problem we can walk past or push off to the next election cycle. These are our neighbors. Every person deserves dignity, a roof over their head, and a chance at a better life. If the numbers in this report don't light a fire under our leaders at all levels of government, I don't know what will. The time to act is now. New York can't afford to wait.
Beam me up.
To be continued.